Hello everyone, welcome to day 5 of Vlogmas. I started the day off by frogging my shawl. It just wasn't working. I'd finished day 1. I should have shown it to you before I frogged it, to be honest, but I didn't think about it. I was just in that frame of mind where I just wanted to do it and I'd had enough. The pattern, absolutely brilliant. The yarn, absolutely beautiful. They just didn't work together. I'd done day 1 and I was really liking it. I then added the fluff in to go with day 2. And I just wasn't loving the combination of the light yarn and the dark fluff. I didn't like how that looked. And then I started the section 2 of the day 2, which was a brioche section, and I just didn't have the headspace for it, to be honest. I think if I'm going to have any chance of keeping up with something, I need something a lot simpler. So I have frogged it, because our next 2 colours are these ones as well. Anyway, so I have frogged it. That's what I was trying to say. And I am going to start a Habitation throw, which is a pattern by Helen Stewart. I think the way she writes her patterns will help with my brain at the moment, because they're very kind of tick listy. It's a really simple pattern. So I think I'm going to go with that. It's been on my list to knit for absolutely ages. And looking at how these colours are coming out, I think it will work really nicely. As I just flashed, you've seen days 1 and 2. We then go from day 2 into a kind of just a turquoise with speckles, and we're then going into a slightly more variegated, darker turquoise with darker blues in there. And I really think the Habitation throw is going to show off these kind of variegated colours much more nicely in that kind of garter stitch with just little eyelet bits, than something with heavier patterning. So yeah. Gorgeous pattern, the Slay All Day wrap, absolutely gorgeous, nothing wrong with it at all, really clear, really well written. I just don't have the headspace for it in December, so we're going to try something new. I'm going to do that in a bit. I'm going to sit and cast it on in a bit. But one of the things that I needed to get done today, in preparation for my craft day at the weekend, I thought I would get my hanging rail out and put all my samples on it, because I thought that'd be nice. People could see the samples rather than them living hidden in a cupboard or a drawer like they usually are. So I thought I would share some of them with you. They all currently live in a big reusable shopping bag. And then I just dig out what I need for shows and things like that. But yeah, I thought I'd share some of the samples with you. You saw a flash of this one yesterday. This is the Glittering Snowscape shawl by Stephen West. Absolutely beautiful. Most of these haven't been knit by me. I have an amazing team of sample knitters who are incredible. If you're interested in being a sample knitter, then there is a link under the video to sign up for my sample knitter newsletter. I send out an email newsletter every time I need samples, and it's basically first come, first serve. And you get paid in, I give you a gift card for the shop in the equivalent amount of yarn that the project took, if that made sense. So if it's something like this, which was a 5 skein shawl, then you'd get a £100 gift card. If it's something smaller, if it's just like a sock, you just get a single skein's worth, so a £20 gift card, that kind of thing. But yeah, details are underneath the video. It is only people in the UK at the moment, I'm afraid, just because of the shipping costs and time and things like that. But yeah, I rely heavily on my sample knitters for creating me amazing samples. So yeah, that's the Glittering Snowscape. It was knit out of something that has never made it onto the website. I have one pack here. Out of my Midsummer Fade kit. So I took 5 colours from last year's advent calendar. So last year I did an advent calendar inspired by A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I took 5 of the colours from that. Last year's advent was a fade. I took 5 of the colours from that, put them into a kit and had the sample made up. But I have yet to photograph them and get them on the website. They've only come to shows with me so far. Put that back. Let's move on. We have some hats. So I've got a lovely hat. This was the one I stole yesterday. I will put it on as well. This is a tender hat, which is a pattern by Melody Hoffman. I love it. The original pattern is knit for DK, held with fluff. But we did the pattern and in fact every version of the hat I've knit I've done with fingering weight held double and fluff, and I absolutely love how it comes out. Such an amazing pattern. I have knit 2 of these myself, and I've had one knit as well for the shop too, because I love the pattern so much. We then have a Kimber hat. Again, this is a pattern I have knit myself. I think I've knit it once myself, and then I had a sample knit for the shop. It is a lovely kind of slouchy hat pattern with cables and lace on it. It's brilliant. It's by Norichan Knits, and again this one is fingering weight held with fluff, and it's beautiful. I'd highly recommend the pattern. This one was Tinkerbell with my shimmer fluff, and this one was Treebeard, one of my Lord of the Rings ones, with olive fluff. I was very kindly gifted this a little while ago from a lovely customer who came to visit the studio while she was on holiday. It is a lovely cowl, and this was knit in Peter Rabbit, with again the same shimmer fluff. And it's beautiful, and it's going to be such a good sample. Then I've got a whole host of shawls that I've had knit. I couldn't resist having a little 100-acre shawlette knit. This is a pattern by Helen Stewart, and of course it's knit in 100-acre wood, because how could I not do that? I then got my lovely Birds of a Feather. I love this pattern so much. So yeah, this is, I'm trying to make sure I've got it the right way around. No, I haven't. This is the Birds of a Feather, still got it the wrong way around. This is the Birds of a Feather shawl. It is a pattern by, I'm going to get it wrong now. No, it is Andrea Mowry. It is a pattern by Andrea Mowry that uses fluff and 4-ply, but you don't hold them together. So you get sections of the fluff held on its own and sections of the 4-ply. I will say, the pattern says you need 2 skeins of fluff and 2 skeins of 4-ply. We did it with 2 skeins of 4-ply and 1 skein of fluff, because really all you need that second skein of fluff for are some little stripes in this section here, and you would have barely used like 10 grams of that second skein of fluff, and that just seemed a little bit unnecessary for me. I didn't want to encourage people to buy an extra skein of fluff for an extra 20 quid when they aren't actually going to need much of it. So we just finished the pattern off with the 4-ply, which we had plenty of with the 2 skeins, and it worked perfectly, to be honest. I've then got some really nice crochet samples. I love this one. This is the Waru shawl, which is a pattern by Deanne Ramsey. I'm very glad I've got labels on a lot of these, because I would not have remembered that name. And this is a gorgeous crochet shawl. I love this to pieces. We used some of the Peter Rabbit colourways, so you've got Jemima Puddle Duck in there, Pie in the Patty Pan, and then the solid in the middle is Flamingo. And I absolutely love this one. Yeah, the pattern I think calls for 5 colours, but we just adapted it. We just did an extra bit of we just did more Jemima, basically. We just repeated Jemima instead of having extra colours in there. What else have I got in here? Oh, this is a nice one to share. Talking of Advent and Advent patterns, this is the Adventuresome wrap, I think, by Amber O'Brien. Don't hold me on that. It might be the Adventurous wrap. I can't quite remember, and I don't have a label on this one. But this was very kindly knit for me out of my 2022 Advent, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory Advent calendar. And I absolutely love how this one came out. This would be a great pattern for this year's Advent calendar. But yeah, absolutely love how that one came out. So that's really fun. Then I've got a couple of really fun little shawlettes that I will share, because these are designed for sock sets. So if you've ever got a sock set that you want to do something more than just a pair of socks with, then these 2 patterns are great. First of all, we've got the, how do I pronounce it? Oh, this is the Cavill, the Cavill shawl, which is this one here. Both of these are by Brixton Pearl. And you use the mini as a contrast on the edge for this one. It's a gorgeous texture pattern on this. Really, really nice. And it's a fair sized little shawlette, to be honest. Like for 120 grams of yarn, it gives you a really decent sized shawl. And then the other one that again is similar, this is, make sure I've got it the right way around. This is the Social Bobble shawl as well. I love this one. I love those bobbles down the bottom. And again, knit out of a 120 gram sock set. So yeah, if you see sock sets and you're like, I don't know what to do with that, I don't want to knit another pair of socks, then these are two shawls that are great kind of possibilities. Right, I'm not going to get to go through all of these because that would be ridiculous. But I wanted to share a couple of other really, really nice ones. Let's dig them out. Okay, I had a rummage and I have dug some out so that we don't talk for too long. Let's have a look at a couple of crochet ones. I've cut a couple of little crochet shawls that are really, really cute. These are all kind of single skein kind of ones. Crochet obviously eats yarn a lot more than knitting, so you can't often get as big a project out of the same amount of yarn as you can with knitting. This is the Tendril Shawl by Carmen Hefferman. This was knit in my Heffalump colourway, one of my Beatrix, not my Beatrix Potter, one of my Winnie the Pooh ones. And it's a very cute little shawl. I love the shaping on this one. And then we've got the Spun Gold by Kat Golding as well. This is a lovely little kind of crocheted shawlette. This one's in Isildur's Bane. But it makes for a really nice little kind of, if you just want something under a coat, basically. And one more crochet project and then we'll go back to the knitting. This is the Giddy Quinn Cowl. This was designed by Sophie of A Spring Snowflake, who is also doing Vlogmas, by the way. And it was designed specifically with this set of minis in mind. She designed it for my 12 Days of Christmas a number of years ago. But it's beautiful. It's a really fun pattern. It does really well at shows. It's a really, really popular pattern at shows. So yeah, that is that one. I do have another example of it somewhere in another set of colours, but I'm not seeing it in here and I can't be bothered to waste time looking. Same colours is my pattern, my one and only pattern. It's very simple. This is the Storm's End cowl, which again I designed with that 12 Days of Christmas in mind, and it's just one of those little cowls. I'm going to mess my hair up doing this. One of those little cowls that just kind of tucks around your neck, in your coat or in your jumper to give you that little bit of extra warmth. And this was done in the rainbow minis as well. Either of these patterns would be brilliant for this year's 12 Days of Christmas. If you bought a 12 Days of Christmas from me, either of these patterns would work beautifully with that as well. Then I've got three more patterns, quickly, she says. This is the Ava pattern by Sarah R. And I love this one because it gives you ideas of what you could do with those random minis. So this one uses 100 grams of the main colour, and if you went for like a neutral, like the grey, it would work really nicely like this. And then you've got little 10 gram minis that make up the little stripes, and you could certainly make this bigger if you wanted to, but I really like the idea. It gives me a little idea of like something you can do with random minis that works really nicely. Then I have two more. So this is, I just love this and it's so different. This is the Indira Cowl by Vanessa Smith. It's knit with fluff and fingering weight held double, and it's just beautiful. It's super cozy, and it's cables and texture. And it's just really, really, really pretty. There are mittens as well that match. I don't think they're in this bag actually, I think they're in with my sock samples. But yeah, that is a lovely pattern if you're looking for something super cozy. And then the final one, just because I absolutely love this pattern, and I often steal this one from the studio. This is the Rainbow Wings, she's saying. I've stolen it, so I've taken the label off. That's what problem is. I think it's called the Rainbow Wings. Rainbow Wings shawl by Mina Phillips of Knitting Expat Designs. And it's beautiful. It utilises a 12-day mini set in the kind of rainbow section, we used the winter fade sunset, the winter sunset fade kit from me, which again was another 12 Days of Christmas a couple of years ago. But this would work beautifully with a 12 Days of Christmas because it very much is designed for 12 mini skeins. And yeah, I love the way you get a big feature on this side and just the little stripe on the other side. I don't know if you can tell, but also we used the grey in just a normal merino nylon, but the minis are sparkly, so you get a little bit of sparkle on that colour as well. So there we go, a whole host of sample patterns. I now need to go and get the sample rail and put it up and find my hangers and get it all set up, although I'll probably just tuck it in a corner for now until we actually get the whole studio sorted out on Friday. Tonight I should have knit night, which is really nice. I drive up to Montrose and I have a lovely group of people that I go to a knit night with, so I will take you along to that and hopefully show you the start of progress on my habitation throw, because I am going to actually sit and start that this afternoon. I've got a little bit of extra time today because the kids are doing their first day at after school club, and I picked a day where I actually don't have a lot to do because all of the City Nights yarn is still drying. It's on the air as I speak, won't be dry until tomorrow. So I'm just kind of doing admin and tidying up and starting to get things ready for the craft day, really. Headed off to knit night. Erin was just showing me this skylights jumper that she made. It's a pattern by Tanis Lavelle and it's gorgeous. She used some of my minis from last year's clubs. Erin is Henny Penny Makes and she is also doing Advent this year. I managed to get a good amount of progress done on my habitation throw. I'm really enjoying it. It's a much more mindless knit and I think it is what I need for December. I am doing the 20 gram version, so I'm going to try and use all of the 20 gram mini in it. And as you'll see in a second, I made a good amount of progress. I'm not even through the first day, so there's no way I'm going to keep up, but it's looking good and I'm enjoying it. And we noticed that both myself and Laura were wearing our aquamarines. I am back from knit night. I had a lovely time. I was going to try and convince Erin or Laura to do Joke of the Day, but there was live music playing this time, which was very nice, if a little bit loud, so we couldn't really get much chatting done. So instead, I'm going to have to rope Tom in.
Hi.
Hi.
Is it time now?
Yes, it's time now.
It's time for...
What's it time for?
Joke of the Day! What did one Christmas candle say to the other?
I don't know. What did one Christmas candle say to the other?
Lighten up.